Welcome, sports fans, to Thursday matinee hockey for a CCC semifinal game between the Conard Red Wolves hosting the Enfield Eagles. This is a semifinal game. Winner moves on to the finals, and they'll play either the winner of Rocky Hill or Hall High. These two teams faced each other twice over the season. Conard was victorious, 5-2 and 2-1. Coach Olson has his senior line out. Enfield wins the opening draw. Stefanovic sends it back. And Enfield able to dump it in deep. O'Keefe giving chase for the Red Wolves. Banks it off the corner. Battle on the boards. Kept in and now pushed out just a little bit. Gavin Mangini going after it. And Enfield still able to keep it in. Crazy bounce. Goes off the boards. Now stepped up. Conard tries to shoot it in. Still stays in. Rister goes beyond the net. Bounces off. Kyle Malecki had that shot. Went over the crossbar. And Enfield tries to poke it in. And Emery will cover it up. We'll have our first whistle. And Conard will have its first line change. Nolan Reck taking the draw for the Red Wolves. Won by Enfield. Back. Trying to go high to low. Silas Warner poking it through. Dylan Smith trying to send it up the boards. Nolan Reck going after it. Kept in by Enfield's Kyle Malecki. And Ken Roach trying to poke it through. Tries to send a pass over to Gainey. Can't get there. And it's kept in by Cooper Love, who puts it on net. Another shot by Cooper Love. Stick save. Emery. Cooper Love again at the blue line. Keep it in. Red Wolves struggling to get it out of the zone here. And it's been all Enfield first off. And Conard trying to push it through. Finally gets it out. Icing waved off. Enfield going for a change. And pushed up to Nolan Reck, who will send it in deep. Enfield trying to break it out. Picked off by Gavin Mangini. Comes out of the zone. CJ Bankoff sends it in deep. While Mangini had to go back and touch up. Gives Enfield time. Now pushing up is Enfield. They'll shoot it up against the boards again. Puck coming up ricochets off crazy bounces. And here comes Tor McGoldrick with a 3-on-3. Tries to go the outside. Pivots. Turns. Looking for an opportunity. Backhanded. Still puck handling it a little bit. And Andrew Nigro backhands it in deep. Picked off by Brady Tavernier for Enfield. And he'll send it back to his defenseman Cody Sexton. And Enfield trying to break it out right here, and poked away by C.J. Bankoff. Picked up by Tor McGoldrick. Tries to send it in deep. Grabbed by Robert Kane. He'll circle. Enfield Eagles will regroup. He'll send it up the boards. And Tor McGoldrick able to keep it in for Conard. And C.J. Bankoff, again, finding space. And keeping it in deep. But a high stick called on Enfield. And we'll have a face-off to the right of McCaffrey. And both teams make personnel changes. Nick Alonso take the face-off draw versus Steven Stauffer. Try to get it back to Dubois. Dubois tries swing and a miss. And just poked above by Zach Davey. Nick Alonso sends it back in deep. Enfield has their first D out there. Alonso pinching on the boards. Trying to kick it free. Here comes Liam Alvord, crosses the red line, goes to the outside. He's pinched on the boards, but he's able to run over Kyle Malecki. But Enfield has it. Now a breakout with 2-on-2. Here comes Zach Davey, forced to the outside by Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith able to break it up, and it goes back. Not cleared, ricocheted, man in front of Emery, screened, but Emery comes up with that save. Back again, Enfield trying to ricochet off those boards to get that bounce. Here comes Nate Dubois, flips it up, and tapped on the hands by Cooper Love, and sent in deep by Enfield as they make a partial personnel change. Smith trying to send it over to his outlet, Andrew Nigro, and it's picked off by Sawyer Paquita. Conard able to send it in deep, not far enough though. And Kyle Malecki will regroup behind his own goal line, sends a stretch pass over to his teammate, Ethan Semick, and it goes in deep. Nigro will grab back and pick it up on the cage. Enfield, chasing the puck quickly, is forcing those passes by Conard. Conard can't really get it off its stick quick enough and keeps getting poked away. And Andrew Nigro will have to regroup. The good forechecking by the Enfield Eagles. Gainey now has it on the outlook. He's hit from behind a little bit. Just gets it out. Nolan Reck, it's poked away from him. And almost an opportunity for Ethan Semick, who tried to split the defense. Gainey pushing it forward. Opportunity. Gainey forward. Shot. Save. McCaffrey. Gainey takes his own rebound and shoots it high above the crossbar. Great work by Gainey. The forecheck that away. Roach is now behind the cage, looking for an opening. Sends it forward. Shot by Nigro. Sends it wide. CJ Bankoff now pinching in. Sends it over. Roach hits his man to keep the puck alive in his zone. Gainey going after it, forcing Enfield to shoot it behind the cage. And they're trying to loop it around. And Nolan Reck has it, lifted in the air, looking for an opening. Shoots a tough angle, and glove save by McCaffrey. Terrific pressure there by the Red Wolves. And McCaffrey coming up big. And we'll get a whistle. And a personnel change. Gavin Mangini will take the draw. It's dropped. Enfield has it. Flipped up, lifted around. Dylan Smith has it. He has to backhand it in. Look to take a shot there. He adds a little bit of space. And that puck is all the way looped around by Enfield. No icing called. O'Keefe going after it. Grabs it. Shoots it up the boards, looking for an outlet. To Gavin Mangini. Pinches his man in, and Tor McGoldrick goes into support. Loose puck comes out, and McGoldrick has it. We have a 2-on-2 with McGoldrick and Tamaccio. And McGoldrick able to tap it in before it's batted out and picked up at the red line by Mangini for the Red Wolves. And Dylan Smith will pick it back up. Here comes Mangini now. Will send it in deep. Goes behind the cage. Tamaccio has it. Looping around. Backhands it. Comes off of his stick. And Brady Tavernier for Enfield will pick it up. Like Jaden Bowden is pinched on the side. Great work by O'Keefe to pinch his man off the puck. And now Tamaccio trying to lift it forward. Conard can't get it out once again. Tamaccio backhanding it in. And it's lifted up. Tor McGoldrick going in for the forecheck. He's able to scoop it around and beat his man. Tries to change direction, but good work by Enfield there. Ethan Semick has it. Sends it to the other side of the ice. And Cody Sexton loops it up all the way to Gavin Tomeo. He's forced to dump it in. And CJ Bankoff able to poke it in and loop it around. It gets to the blue line. And Nate Dubois forces it out of the zone. But in the neutral zone, Enfield volleying back and forth without really any pressure. Now goes into the Conard zone. Nate Dubois going after it. Puck is looped around. CJ Bankoff can't get there. He's beat by his man. Enfield now has it. Malecki shoots it back in to keep it in the Enfield zone. Nobody's shooting it on net though. Just looping around, constant. Enfield looking for an opening to shoot. Tries to go D to D. And then Parker Bastos able to pick it up and shoot it in deep to give the opportunity for a change there. Nick Alonso trying to forecheck. But Kyle Malecki right there, kept in by Riley O'Keefe, floats it in. Parker Bastos giving chase behind the net. He'll go after Cooper Love. Cooper Love sends it up forward deep. It stays in by Gainey. And O'Keefe will send it over to Nigro, who banks it off the board to Nolan Reck. He backs it in. Now goes into the zone. Ken Roach going after it. He's pinched up on the boards versus Sawyer Paquita. Nolan Reck still battling. He'll battle with Cooper Love. Nigro has it. Flips it up against the boards to try and keep it deep, but picked up by Enfield. They'll skate it around. Hits the outlet. Over to Samick. Samick makes a nice move, entering the zone. Here he comes, tries to go to the outside, tries to drop it, and just forward. Now a shot by Nolan Steer goes totally wide. Nice drop pass by Samick, though. And good skating on his part. And Conard, once again, trying to get the pressure from Enfield and get it out of the zone. Enfield picking up the physicality here a little bit. Pass picked off by Semic. Skating around fast. Looks to go high with it. Enfield goes back down low. Over to Jacob Morano. Back to Morano. Over to Nolan Steer. Tries to take a shot. Gainey goes down and blocks the shot. The points are uncovered. Enfield now looking to stuff it home. Can't do it. Comes back out. Semic on the side of the boards. He'll loop it around and find space. Enfield goes behind the cage. They're really spread out here. They've kind of got Conard handcuffed a little bit, and they're chasing the puck a little bit. O'Keefe now going into the corner with it. He's bounced off the puck. Hard hit. O'Keefe just steps out of the way to take the big brunt of it, and Conard smartly banks it off the board and sends it down the ice, and it'll be an icing call with 5:47 left in the first period. And Conard was on their heels just a little bit. Enfield able to space him out and move the puck. Brady Tavernier for the Enfield Eagles will take the draw. Gavin Mangini wins it. It's back to his D, Dylan Smith. He's surrounded by two Eagles. Goes back to the point. Shot low. Saved by Emery. Open space. Swept away by Conard defense. Kept in by Enfield. Swiped in. Conard once again trying to get it out of the zone. Mangini sweeps it around. And McGoldrick trying to poke it through. Mangini now has it. Crosses the blue line. And Tamaccio just stepped over too soon. The offsides on Conard. Mangini will take it versus Gavin Wojcik. So it's Gavin versus Gavin here. Won by Conard. Dylan Smith sends it to the side. No one there for Conard. Now trying to poke it away. Gavin Mangini underhooks his man, trying to get it through, pinching his man on the boards. Puck is still loose. Tamaccio still trying to get it. Conard push it through. Torm McGoldrick kicks it out. Goes back to the Enfield blue line. And Tamaccio trying to kick it deep. Can't get it there. And it's sent in. Cody Sexton will pick it up for Enfield. Trying to loop it around. Missed by Liam Alvord. A little miscommunication between Emery and Dylan Smith. And Emery has to sweep it over into the corner. Dylan Smith regroups. Tries to break it out. Liam Alvord shoots it up. Looking for the stretch pass to Torm McGoldrick. Good look, but just out of his reach. And we'll have another icing call. And both teams will make personnel changes. Good pressure here by Enfield. Good spacing on their part. Conard looking for a big play. Get something going. Steven Stauffer for the Eagles versus Nick Alonzo in the draw. Won by Conard. Picked up. Swiped up. But Conard can't clear the zone. And it's sent in deep by the defense of Enfield, who are managing their points really well. Parker Bastos crosses the red line, sends it in the corner, chased by Nate Dubois. Dubois tries to push it up to Alonzo. He'll move it in. He's cast to kick it forward as he's held up a little bit. Great job by Bankoff, but he falls down a little bit. And now it's Matzinger versus Davey, and Davey has to spin around. Great job by Matzinger as he pushes his man forward and pushes him to the outside wall. Great defensive work by Jackson Matzinger there to prevent an opportunity. He hustled over to get to the other side, and now Enfield will be offsides with 3:49 left to play. Bankoff did a great job saving that puck from going out of the zone, but lost a wheel and blew a tire. And Jackson Matzinger covered up for his defenseman and was able to save the play. Conard wins the faceoff draw. Dylan Smith tries to send it up off the boards. Takes a crazy bounce and sent back in by Enfield. Here comes Dylan Smith. He'll skate it on his own. Gets by one man. Sends it to Roach. Roach has got some speed here. He's pitched to the outside by Kyle Malecki. So Roach will send it in deep. Gainey pushed to the boards. Roach hit from behind but able to make the pass. Now Malecki has it, skating behind, floats it up to his outlet to try and kick it in. Bounces over O'Keefe's stick. Dylan Smith has it. And now Roach at the blue line, will send it in, and he's pushed over into the Enfield bench. But a whistle's blown, and we'll have face-off outside the blue line. Offsides on Conard, that was the call. Puck is won, sent in deep by Conard. Camden Jenkinson, that was Cody Sexton, sends it in deep. No icing call there. Liam Alford backhanded over to Torm McGoldrick at the blue line, skating it in with Mangini. McGoldrick tries to make a move, tries to get a shot. It's deflected off an Enfield stick, gathered by Mangini, poked away from him. And now Enfield with a breakout, the 3-on-3. Semic, shot, goes wide. Jaden Bowden with that shot. Now Conard trying to bring it out. Andrew Nigro will collect it, looking for an outlet. Enfield just standing there, letting them have it. Now poked away by Enfield, and they have to regroup. Cody Sexton goes to his blue man. And then another shot up to Brady Tavernier. Goes back into the Conard zone. Nigro goes over to Alvord, and now Mangini's got some space. He pushes it forward, just past Cody Sexton. A nice flip up and off to the races for Enfield as they change up. And Dylan Smith with a nice C-cut changes direction on Enfield, pushes it up to Torm McGoldrick, who finds some space, and Conard will make a line change. And Enfield takes some charge here. Little bodies flying, and they can't get it past the blue line. Here, Nick Alonso now has it, skating up with it, trying to take a shot, tries to wrist it over. Shot, Gainey, Parker Bastos actually makes that shot, goes wide. Nate Dubois trying to keep it in, has it, shot by Dylan Smith. It's grabbed by Kyle Malecki, who's been everywhere defensively for Enfield so far in this first period. Enfield makes a move, shot, pad save, Emery. Terrific move by Enfield. Malecki has it on his stick and just poked out of the zone by Nick Alonso. It makes Enfield regroup back at their own blue line. Malecki tried to feed, and we're going to have icing waved off, actually. Another indirect shot by Enfield, and Malecki took a charge, but Enfield was late crossing back on the blue line, so it'll be an offsides call. 39.8 seconds left in the first. McCaffrey's only really had one solid shot on him so far. Hasn't really been truly tested. And Emery has been right there, especially from the shots of the point. Mangini looking to take it. Tamaccio overskates it, backhands it, sends it back. And a feed over to Mangini. Just misses it, and it'll be an icing call. And we'll do it all over. Big face-off one there by Conard. Here comes Tamaccio. Going to try and beat Malecki. Splits, puts it through his legs, but Malecki stands up and closes the gap, puts the body on Tamaccio. Now Enfield trying to break it out. Goes off of Dylan Smith's skates, and now Torm McGoldrick will weave his way through. He's pinched on the boards versus Cooper Love. And Enfield trying to bring it forward, and Dylan Smith brings it in. Now Tamaccio, rebound shot, Torm McGoldrick on the rebound, through the 5-hole, McCaffrey. Tamaccio backhanded shot, was an initial save by McCaffrey, and then getting up, McGoldrick snapped it, and Conard with 1.2 seconds left takes a 1-0 lead. Great job by McGoldrick, following the shot right to the net. Tamaccio never hesitated. He just put that backhanded shot right on net. McCaffrey made that initial save. And we'll have an end of the first period, and Conard will go into the locker room with a 1-0 lead, thanks to a goal by Torin McGoldrick.
The Conard goal was scored by number 5, Torin McGoldrick, with an assist from number 21, Gavin Mangini.
And they gave Gavin Mangini the assist on Torin McGoldrick's goal. So Conard will go in, take a breather. They'll cut the ice. We'll be back after first intermission. back for the start of the second period. Conard with a 1-0 lead. Enfield looking to regroup here. Stefanovic look to take the draw versus Mangini. Both sides ready. Enfield wins the draw. Back up to Cooper Love. Tries to send it forward to Ethan Samick. But corralled by O'Keefe. He'll shoot it up the boards. And now Torin McGoldrick tries to pass it up. And McGoldrick's now got some space, but cut off by Cooper Love. And O'Keefe sends it in deep. Conard has to go back and retouch. Enfield looking to get something started here. Back and forth volley like it was in the start of the first period. Now Malecki sends a stretch pass. Dylan Smith has it, looking to take a shot. He's pushed from behind from Stefanovic. Tamaccio pushing his man off the puck. Goes after it. Dylan Smith tried to keep it in. Can't get it. Now Stefanovic has it, looking to take a shot. Pad save, Emery. Rebound, another pad save, Emery. Rebound, Sawyer, Paquita ties the game as Emery made 2 pad saves. And actually Stefanovic puts in the rebound, the third rebound, past Emery as Conard couldn't clear it. And we have a tie game. Nolan Reck takes the draw versus Gavin Wojcik. Bankoff has it, sends it in the boards, picked up by Reck. Bankoff has to hold it. Now touched up. Gainey, wrist one, blocked. Tries to take the shot again. Can't have it. Nolan Reck tries to send it up to Bankoff. It's picked off by Jaden Bowden. Bankoff wins that battle and flips it over back in the deep. Malecki and Paquita for Enfield with the assist. Bankoff now at the point, sends it in deep. Nolan Reck takes a shot. Gloved by the side of the net by McCaffrey. And he looking to dish it off, but referees call the whistle there. Both teams will make a personnel change. Dubois takes the draw. Backhanded by Alonso. Backhanded shot by Alonso. Goes wide. Dubois takes a high hit. Elvert tries to send it in deep, but Conard has to go back and retouch. And now grabbed by Dubois. Tries to poke it in. Beat by Cooper Love, though. And he flips it up over to Zach Davey. Tries to send it over to Gavin Tomeo. Tomeo corrals it. Goes behind the net. Drop pass. Over to Davey. Davies loops it up on the boards. Over to Stauffer. Now grabbed by Alonso. Hits the back of the skates of Parker Bastos. Now a one-on-one opportunity between Stauffer and Emery. And just swiped away by Elvert. Opportunity, but didn't present itself to finish. Enfield keeping it in deep. Elvert now has it. Looking to skate. Bench pass off to Dubois. Tries to keep it in deep. Dubois couldn't keep it on his stick. Elvert tried to get it. Alonso tried to get it there. Now Dubois has it. Backhanded. Blocked. Parker Bastos is hip up on the boards. Kept in deep by Bankoff, who pinches in. And now Enfield loops it around. And it'll go the other end. And we're going to have an icing call. Good pressure by Conard there. But they couldn't quite keep it on the... Couldn't quite keep it a possession on their stick. And Enfield picking up the physicality just a touch. Nolan Reck will take the draw versus Quinn Stefanovic. Picked up by Conard. Ken Roach. He's behind, looking for an opening. Tries to take a spin move. Puck goes up in the air, hits the netting, and we'll have another face-off. Reck tries to push it back to Roach, who's pushed off the puck by Sawyer Paquita. Roach sends it up. Bankoff pokes it away over to Gainey on the sideboards. Nolan Reck going behind the net cage to go after it. Tries to win that battle, but in comes Quinn Stefanovic with some speed. Now tied up is Gainey. He kicks Stefanovic's stick out of the way. Here comes a shot. Goes wide of the net by Semic. Now here comes Roach. Has it, a breakout. Pulls it back behind him. Sends it over to Bankoff, who bats it in deep. Gainey giving chase. It's looped around. Nolan Reck has it. Just out of his hands a little bit. And shot. Goes off the siding by McGoldrick. McGoldrick standing in front of the net. He comes over to the corner, now has it. Looking for it. Tries to make a move. It's pushed off of his stick. Goes to the other side. McGoldrick underhooking. Needs some support there. Doesn't have it. And Gainey with a big hit. And picked up by Gavin Mangini. Takes a drop pass to just out of the reach of McGoldrick. He's able to recover, though, a little bit. Back up to Dylan Smith. Sends a rifle one in! Dylan Smith with a blast from the point. He was set up by Mangini and McGoldrick. McCaffrey screened in front. McCaffrey asking for the ref if someone was in the crease. Not going to get that call. And Conard takes a 2-1 lead. Good puck movement there by Conard. What they need to do all game, they kept it away from the Enfield Eagles. Found some space. And Dylan Smith was able to put the puck on his stick and keep it there and wristed one in past McCaffrey. Enfield wins the face-off draw, picked up by McGoldrick, tries to split the defense. He's at the blue line, tries to pass it off to Mangini. Mangini a shot, never makes it to the net. It goes into the corner, picked up by Tamaccio, back into the corner. Spin move by McGoldrick, tries to get it to feed. Tamaccio looking, shot, wide, rebound! Tamaccio, they say it didn't go in. Awfully odd. I saw it from my angle. We'll have to take photos of that one. Play continues. And Riley O'Keefe at the point sends it in. Goes into the corner. Tamaccio now has it. Tries to go backhanded in. He's pinched in by Robert Kane. Now Tamaccio comes up with it. Spun around. Tries to keep it on his stick. Dylan Smith up to Mangini. Mangini backhands it in deep. Partial change for Enfield. Good full change for Conard. And now Conard has it. And Alonso tries to flip it over to Dubois off of his stick. Here comes Parker Bastos. Can't control it. And Dubois in his own end has it. Nick Alonso trying to go chasing after it into his zone. He's chased. He's pushed off by Robert Kane. No interference call there. Goes in front of McCaffrey, and he has to make a save on a pass. Now another high stick. And Bankoff gloves it. And Alonso has it. And Dubois tries to drag it, but can't push it through. Alonso smartly sends it into the corner. And keep it in the zone. Alonso battling on the side there. Now picked up by Malecki. Malecki has it, trying to go through. Great play by Bankoff to take it off Malecki's stick, and it goes down to the ice, and will be offsides, but great job by Bankoff. Take a charging Malecki, stand his ground, close the gap, and swat it away from Malecki, but it went down the ice. It'll be a face-off with 8:51 left in the second period. Nolan Reck, backhanded, wins it, over to Roach. Roach over to Nigro, just out of the reach of Gainey, flips it up. And now comes Roach, trying to settle it down. Puck was bouncing, goes into the Conard zone. Riley O'Keefe stands his ground, keeps poking it away, gets into the Conard offensive zone, but Malecki's right there for Enfield. And a nice hard hit by Gainey. He takes out Cooper Love. Cooper Love was able to get it into the Conard zone, and now O'Keefe battling. He's able to get his man off the puck. And Steven Stauffer says hello to Conard. He throws a check. Physicality's picked up here. Andrew Nigro corrals it at the red line. He sends it in deep, says no, we're going to have an icing call. Coach Olson said no, it was tipped. Referee won't have it. Mangini, the battling for the puck. They try to lift it up. Goes all the way back to the defense. Elver has it. Banks it off the board and loops it around to McGoldrick. He's in all alone versus two. Tries to toe drag through the legs, but he's pushed away by Cooper Love. Great hustle by Mangini to pick it up behind the cage. And now here comes the charge by Enfield's Kyle Malecki. Shot, gloved, and just pushed away by Emery. Elver trying to pinch his man up on the boards to get the puck away. Mangini's able to get it there. Tries to loop it up. Looked like an offsides call. Not called there, though. And there goes Dylan Smith, who's hit from behind. He's able to avoid the brunt of it. Stevanovic hitting Elver. And now a miss. Here goes Tamaccio. Sends it in deep. He's hit late as well. Enfield looking to play the body more than anything. Now sent Denner deep. Dubois looking to shoot it. Can't, off the heel, doesn't go far, and it's just off the boards and off the glass. And Dubois has it, and he'll find some space. McGoldrick they were all looking to change, and it doesn't go in deep. And Dylan Smith has it, banks it off the boards, over to Alonso, tips it over to Dubois. Dubois has it, 2-on-2. Shot is blocked by Enfield and goes to the other side of the ice. Dubois sends it back to Elverd. Elverd over to Alonso. Cooper Love on his end flips it up, comes out of the zone. Enfield has to go back and touch up. And Dubois has it, goes to the outside. Cooper Love falls down. Open ice hit by Malecki, or Stevanovic. Really hits Dubois. And Bankoff battling at the blue line, able to keep it back in and not. Knocked down by Jaden Bowden. Makes one move, two moves, and it's kicked away by Andrew Nigro. We have a 2-on-2 with Nigro and Parker Bastos, who takes a shot, goes wide, back into the corner. Conard battling in that corner, looking for some ice. Nobody there in front. As sticks are clanking. Here comes Bowden again, trying to take a shot. Stick save by Emery. Bouncing puck comes out in front. Banked off by Gainey. He hits Nolan Reck, who banks it and passes it to himself. Centering pass to Roach. Backhanded, forehand. Pokes it in on his forehand as he looked to go backhand. McCaffrey went to his left, and Roach was able to stick it in. Great play by Nolan Reck to keep that puck alive, and backhanded pass feed over to Roach. We have a 3-1 game. Here comes Roach again now off the face-off win, trying to center one, trying to get a backhand, goes to the outside, spin move, goes back up top, tries to get it to O'Keefe. And O'Keefe pushes Zach Davey aside. He's knocked down. Here comes Gainey, kicking it. He'll cross through. Shot, goes over the crossbar. Loose puck, picked up by Enfield. Nolan Reck again, looked the shot, takes side swipe left, looked to center it, nobody there. Backhanded feed, back over to Gainey, kept in by Dylan Smith. Great job by him to go across to that blue line. And Enfield tries to shoot it down the other end and ice it. Not there, sticks go flying. Enfield wants too many men on the ice call as Conard was changing it up. Another shot, right in the gut, in the breadbasket to Jason Emery. Zach Davey launched that one from just the top of the point. Puck goes out of play. They'll do it again. Gavin Mangini and Quinn Stefanovic take the draw. Loose puck. Conard tries to push it out by breaking Torin McGoldrick, but it's grabbed by Ethan Samick. Sends it to the point. Cooper Love to Malecki. Malecki floats one over there. Goes wide. Looking for a redirect. Now a shot from the point again. Redirect. Saved by Emery. Cooper Love was screening Emery and was able to get a stick on it to try and redirect. And Emery made a beautiful save there. Cooper Love back at the point. Looks to launch it. Another redirect. And Quinn Stefanovic with a goal. That was going to be difficult for anyone to save. It was low. Stefanovic was there. Emery was crossing over. And Stefanovic just got enough stick on it to go above the shoulder of Emery to make it a 3-2 game. Four minutes left to play here in the second period. Conard wins the face-off draw.
Goal scored by number 17, Quinn Stefanovic, with an assist from number 4, Cooper Love.
Cooper Love with the assist on Quinn Stefanovic's goal. Here comes Ken Roach again. He's at the blue line, looking for some help. Breaking was Gainey, but just sends the pass behind him. Nolan Reck going after it. He tries to pinch his man, and now a 2-on-1 as Roach tries to get back and underhooks his man. Good work and support by him as he underhooked Gavin Wojcik to take away the pass. And now, poked away, here comes Roach and Nolan Reck together, a 2-on-2, and Roach sends a shot, goes wide. Nolan Reck tries to send it between his legs. Can't get it there, and now Enfield gets it out of the zone. And Bankoff able to send it in deep, but Conard has to go back and touch up. And they're still going to call offsides. Actually, they're calling an icing. Alonso versus Stefanovic. Alonso wins the draw, but passes it too far from Dylan Smith. Here comes Enfield, tries to shoot on the boards. Parker Bastos has it. Dylan Smith has to bank it behind the cage, and Dubois flips it up as he's hit by Ethan Samick and goes in deep as Parker Bastos giving chase. Here goes stretch pass over to Samick. Dylan Smith is on him, forces him to the outside, tries to make a move. Dylan Smith pokes it away from him. Great job by Dylan Smith in that D work. Nate Dubois has it, looking for some support. Gets up all the way to Alonso. It's Alonso and Parker Bastos, and Alonso gets it by Cooper Love, sends it up deep. Now poked away by Kyle Malecki for Enfield. I'm going to have a high stick call and a face-off at the other end. .2:16 left to play in the second period. Mangini, Stefanovic take the draw again. It's poked away by McGoldrick. Now picked up by Gavin Mangini. He'll try and break it out. Gets it over to Tamaccio. Couldn't quite get it in. Conard's offside, so he'll have to go back and touch up as Enfield has it behind their own cage. Ethan Samick has it. The speed. Bankoff plays the body to hold up Samick. Now giving chase is Enfield, and Elvert giving a big battle by himself behind there, pushes Stefanovic off. Stefanovic goes up top to Malecki. Malecki shoots one high, and it's touched by Enfield on a high stick, so debatable. And now McGoldrick cross-check from behind because no one wanted to touch the puck. Enfield touched it in a high stick. Nobody wanted to touch it. Everybody was looking down at the puck, and Stefanovic will go to the box for a cross-check from behind. And that'll be a Conard power play. Nolan Reck on the draw. Bounces it. Tried to get it back to McGoldrick. Banks it off the boards. Another shot. Slapper. One time save McCaffrey. Roach has it. Nolan Reck back to Nolan Reck to Elbert. Elbert has to regroup. Back to McGoldrick up at the top of the point. Wrist one. Tries to go high. Goes above the boards. And now Enfield has it and sends it up deep. And they'll go back and regroup. McGoldrick has it behind his cage. Being chased by Brady Tavernier. McGoldrick over to Dylan Smith. Smith will loop it around. Conard to play dump and chase. 1 minute left to play in the period. Dylan Smith has it. Sends it over to the bumper on the side to Reck. Reck over to McGoldrick. McGoldrick looked the fake shot. Shoot. Dylan Smith. And save McCaffrey. .109 left to play on the penalty to Quinn Stefanovic. Discussion on the clock. They're going to put a few more seconds on there. Mangini on the draw, gets it back over to Dylan Smith. Smith over to McGoldrick, walks it in a little bit, takes a wrister. Nice block by Enfield. Now back over to Dylan Smith, tries to bet it, and that comes out of the zone. They'll have to regroup. McGoldrick sends it over to Nolan Reck. Reck sends it in deep. It'll loop around. Mangini giving chase. He'll win that battle. Looking for some support is Mangini. 22 seconds left in the period. Now, grabbed by Dylan Smith, looking for more. Here goes Dylan, back by one. Now it's out of the way, and it's sent in deep by Enfield. And McGoldrick forwards it over to Mangini. Mangini charging in, looking to can't keep it on his stick. It's poked away. And Gainey has it, and will come to a conclusion in the second period in a 3-2 game where Stefanovic had a nice goal, but then Ken Roach answered the call. Conard will come back in the third period with 22 seconds left in the power play. We'll be back after they cut the ice. Welcome back to the start of the third period. 3-2, Conard. They'll have a power play remaining for 22 seconds. They've done a good job staying out of the box, trying to move the puck, but they've got to get it out of their zone and manage their breakouts. Conard with the face-off win. Mangini going in the forecheck. Grabbed by Tamaccio. He sends it up top, but it goes out of the zone. And Dylan Smith has it. He'll circle. Try and skate it in. Over to Mangini. Mangini avoids a hit there. Sends it in deep. McGoldrick has it. Looking for some support. He's pinched on the boards. Penalty's over and killed. McGoldrick now has it. Looking for somebody in the center. It's flipped up top. Pinching in is Dylan Smith. Now McGoldrick able to get it, but just poked away off of his stick by Kyle Malecki. Can't get it out of the zone. Shot. McGoldrick goes wide. Dylan Smith able to keep it in. Good pressure here by Conard. Comes out of the zone. Late hit by Stefanovic on Dylan Smith. Now Ethan Simic skating it in. Goes to the outside. Richter never makes it to the net. Scramble in front. Shot. Save. Emery. Another shot. Never makes it to the net, end of the net. Back up to the point is Malecki. Malecki will rifle it through. Waffle save by Emery. Malecki comes out to him. Diving stop. Block by Tamaccio. And Conard gets it out of the zone. And Enfield has to regroup. Conard caught in the change. Semic shot wide. Conard really caught. They've got to do a better job hustling to get out there. Not give any advantage to Enfield. Semic off the boards. Shot up point. Blocked by Tamaccio. Blocked by Gainey. Gainey blocks another shot. Took one right in the back. And then his man tries to hit him and he knocks him down. Gainey sacrificed himself there. Puck comes all the way out of the zone. Cody Sexton for Enfield will send it back in deep. Enfield trying to dump and chase there. Back out to Sexton. Kicked by Roach. Roach has it. Now tries to bring it in through at his feet. Looking for some support. Goes behind the Enfield cage. Just knocked off of his stick by Sexton. And Brady Tavernier trying to loop it forward. Over to Enfield as they try and rally up, and they'll send it in on a dump and chase there. CJ Bankoff going into the corner. He flips it up on the boards. Not deep enough. Now, Nolan Reck, who's got some space, pokes it through. He's going to go off for a change, but just sends it off deep into the zone where Conard has to go out. Malecki's force, the stretch pass, and they're able to get it there. Enfield pulls back. Conard can't get it out of the zone, and Jaden Bowden almost had an opportunity there, and he circles back. Dylan Smith behind his whole goal line, looking for some support and looking for an outlet. He keeps spinning around, forcing Enfield, and now Dylan Smith will just send it, and it bounces off the leg of Kyle Malecki, and Nick Alonso giving chase. And Enfield tries to push it up to their outlet. Stretch pass to the other side. Jaden Bowden tries to go around. Here comes Liam Albert, picked up by Dubois, and Dubois was offsides. And stoppage in play. 11:37 left to play in the third period. Good pressure there by both teams. Seen Enfield a little dump and chase strategy. Conard really got to work hard. Reach for that gas. Camacho grabs the puck. Gavin Mangini trying to get a shot off. Can't get it. Poked away. Mangini backhanded. Centering shot. Goes in underneath the glove. And Gavin Mangini with his hustle is able to backhand one in underneath the glove of McCaffrey. And Conard takes a 4-2 lead. That is just grit and hard work by Gavin Mangini to make that happen. Enfield wasn't even ready. They'll do that face-off again. Mangini wins the face-off. Quickly back over to Nigro. Up to Tamaccio. Tamaccio flips it in deep. McCaffrey has to play it off his pad. Enfield a little bit of a breakout. Malecki grabs it by his own glove. Malecki trying to skate it up, but C-Mac. Nigro with an assist, and McGoldrick with the assist as well. Nigro pinching in, trying to keep it forward. Great job by Tamaccio, keep it deep in the Conard zone. And Kyle Malecki, another stretch pass, looking for an opening there. And Tamaccio's all over him. Him and Cooper Love go down. And we're going to have, looks like a tripping call on Conard. And Tamaccio will go sit for 2 minutes on a trip. And we'll have to kill this one off. He did a good job tying up Enfield, but just got underneath him a little bit and enough for the referee to call for a penalty. Nick Alonso trying to take the draw. Enfield wins it, goes back D to D. Shot, wrister, save. Emery kicks it back out, goes back to the other side of the ice. Cody Sexton's there, back over to his defenseman, back to the bumper to Sexton. Sauce pass, one time, save. Now a scramble in front, trying to push it in. Conard's able to push it out. Great job by Alonso to help out and assist. Emery's lost his stick. O'Keefe gives him his, and O'Keefe battling in front until Emery battles in front, and Enfield wants a call from having two sticks. Chase Emery hung in there without a stick, made one save. Riley O'Keefe was right there to support him. O'Keefe gave him his stick. He played without it as O'Keefe battled in front, and now McGoldrick comes up with a face-off win, kills off a little clicks off the clock there, tries to send it in deep, can't get it. Here comes Kyle Malecki for Enfield, forced to the outside by Mangini, tries to get a pass off. He banks it off the boards and skates and gets it to himself, still has it. Now it's a loose puck out in front, and Gavin Mangini pokes it away and sent deep by Dylan Smith and picked off. And here it goes, shot. That goes wide. And now a loose puck in front. McGoldrick trying to jam it in, and McCaffrey falls all over that. Little miscommunication there by Enfield to get it out of the zone, and it had to be poked away. Dylan Smith got it in deep, and McGoldrick tried to jam it in for a shorty. 56 seconds left on Tamaccio's tripping penalty. Connor have a line change, and Alonso takes the draw, goes back to Gainey. Gainey goes to Bankoff. Bankoff, once again, finding space, killing some ticks off the clock there. Sends it in deep, has to regroup. Gainey, great hustle there, pokes it away, forcing Enfield, makes that check, forces his man off the puck, but regathered by Kyle Malecki. He'll charge up, goes to the outside. There's C-Mac. C-Mac, drop pass over to Sawyer Paquita, and right in the breadbasket, it's on Emery, and Emery corrals that one. We'll have a face-off to the left of Emery. Enfield's points playing very strong here with Sawyer. Now grabbed by Conard. They're skating it out. Gainey trying to split the defense there. Does a great job. And they'll send it in deep. They'll go off for a line change. Enfield will regroup. Conard at their own blue line. Bounce pass to C-Mac. He's got some speed. Just poked away by Alvord. Him and Alvord go at it in the corner. And now Stefanovic, nowhere near the puck, goes and hits Alvord, but Alvord stands him up. Conard kills the penalty. They're even strength. Back over the bumper. Shot. Wrister. Glove save, making it look easy. Chase Emery. Enfield, the face-off win, poked away by McGoldrick. doesn't come out of the zone. Gloved by Mangini, tries to knock it down. Now picked up by O'Keefe, who backhands it over to Dylan Smith behind their own net. Conard still can't get it out of the zone. They have to try and skate it out. Here comes Tamaccio trying to skate it. Goes to the outside, on his backhand, shovels it in. Pad save, McCaffrey. What a charge by Tamaccio. And now McGoldrick has it, brings it back, looking for patient. Shot, goes wide. Tamaccio grabs the rebound, back behind, sends it over to Mangini behind the net. He's trying to move it covered, gets away. He loops it back around to McGoldrick. McGoldrick looking for some help, spins around. They don't kill time. Tries to loop it in front to Tamaccio. Shot, save, McCaffrey. Great puck movement by Conard. And McCaffrey kept sight of that one. Kept Enfield in that game. Great save by McCaffrey. 7:46. We're halfway through the third. 4-2. Conard has really come out hustling. Hopefully they've saved some gas. Nolan Reck will take the draw. Right behind him is Gainey, looking for that pass. And now Roach has it. Banks it off the board to Dylan Smith. Has it. Tries to get it in there. But Sawyer Paquita just had enough just to poke it away. Here comes Ethan Seamak. He's got some speed. Can't get it through. The pass goes up to Nolan Reck. Can't handle it. Grabbed by Quinn Stefanovic. He's there. Over to Kyle Malecki. Tries to stretch pass over to Seamak. And dropped over for Quinn Stefanovic. Tries to charge in. Impossible shot. Angle shot. Shave. Emery. Another shot. Rebound. Save. Emery. Conard gets it out of the zone. Up before Kyle Malecki. Sends it in deep. Enfield has to go back and touch up. Settled down by Andrew Nigro in the corner. Over to Dylan Smith. He banks it off of his own player. Over to Nolan Reck. Sends it on the other side of the ice to Gainey. Gainey pushes it forward up to Roach. Roach has it. Looks to go back. Pulls it behind him. He's pushed on the boards and pinched in. He has to come off of the boards. Bankoff has it. Flips it in. Finds space once again. Cooper Love comes up with it. Now it's a 2-on-2. Cooper goes to the middle of the ice, looking to take a shot. Drops it for Seamak. Pulls it through. Backhanded change. Save. Emery. And Conard try to get it out of the zone. Can't quite get it. Now picked up by Enfield. Redirect shot. Save. Emery. Tries to go to the side. They'll turn to try and stuff it home. It's pushed away. Conard still can't get it out of the zone. It's kept in. Enfield wanted a tripping call there, but not there. Conard tries to make a change. No support. And the only thing they can do, and it hits some skates. And Parker Bastos giving chase for Conard. He can't get his man. Robert Kane forwards it up to Jaden Bowden. Bowden takes a shot. Easy glove save. Chase Emery. Volleying to win the faceoff. Conard dives, gets in front. Shot, Enfield, never makes it. Poked away by Chase Emery. Goes to the side, lifted up, still kept out of the zone. Enfield has to regroup. Bowden pushes it over. Now it trickles down over to Emery. Dylan Smith will corral it. Goes the other way, looks for his outlet over to McGoldrick. McGoldrick finds Tamaccio. Now Tamaccio over to Gavin Mangini. Tries to pull back. Goes left, right. Backhanded. Tries to go up top shelf on the backhand. Good look by Gavin Mangini there. And great work by Tor McGoldrick to try and keep it in the zone. But only lost. Here comes Enfield now. And Dylan Smith uses the body. Take his man off the puck. And he's skating hard. Fans wanted a hook there. And Tamaccio, they look to hit him. But he avoids 3 hits there. Great hustle on Tamaccio's part. But Enfield comes up with the puck as Tamaccio, when he went to avoid the hit, lost possession of the puck. 3-on-2 now for Enfield. Shot, swiping, Elverd. And here comes McGoldrick. McGoldrick has it. Getting a little time go by so they can get shot. McGoldrick shot, save. McCaffrey, rebound, chopped. Now they're poking at it from behind the net. Gainey battling his man. Enfield comes up with it. Another side pass. Only be grabbed by Bankoff, and it's picked up by Kyle Malecki. He'll skate it hard, skates in. Enfield gets offside, and they have to regroup to get it out there. Bankoff keeping his man Cooper Love to the outside. Cooper Love dishes it off to Ethan Seamak. Up to Malecki, back over to the D-man. Cooper Love, shot, wrister, glove save, rebound, and covered up by Emery with 3:53 left to play in the game. Sticks go flying. Conard coming up with it. Ken Roach looking to pass it. Stretch pass. Just misses. Picked up by Cooper Love. He banks it off the board to Ethan Seamak. Seamak taking charge. Center ice. Tries to go wide. Loses possession of the puck. Now Ken Roach bats it out gently. Just above the blue line. Cooper Love will corral it. Enfield will reset up with Kyle Malecki. He finds some space deep in the zone there. And an Enfield player goes upended as he tried to get Elverd, but Elverd won that battle. And it falls behind the net, and it's stoppage in play as the puck is on top of the net. And we are going to have a penalty here coming up to Conard. Ken Roach, 2 minutes. We'll get the call for you in a second here. Conard wants to debate that call. Kevin Mangini having a discussion with the ref. It's like timeout Enfield.
The Conard penalty on number 11, Ken Roach. 2 minutes for roughing.
Ken Roach, 2 minutes for roughing. Timeout over for Enfield strategy. 3:09 left to play in the game. Big kill here for Conard. Emery's come up big. Enfield has their power play one line out there. Stefanovic take the draw versus Mangini. Dylan Smith has the puck. He's being chased down by Kyle Malecki. Elverd has it. Sends it hard and deep. And McCaffrey has to kick it off the side with his pad. Cooper Love giving chase. McGoldrick trying to forecheck. He'll hustle back there. Seamak over to Malecki. And Seamak is taken down. As he crossed sticks and legs with McGoldrick. Back over. Shot blocked by Gavin Mangini. Picked up by Kyle Malecki. Back up top to Cooper Love. Love back over to Seamak. Seamak steps around, goes shot, save, right in front. Emery. Enfield trying to set up a screen. I don't know how he saw that puck. Enfield will keep its same players out there. Conard gets some fresh legs out there. Enfield up with the face-off win. They kick it back out of the side, changing the ice direction. Dylan Smith tangles up with Samak. And Quinn Stefanovic tries to take a pass, misses. Now up top to Cooper Love. Wrist one, goes behind the net. It's on top of the net. No whistles called there. Now they finally call the whistle, the puck on top of the net. 55 seconds left in the Enfield power play. Gainey, the face-off draw. He wins it. Can't get it. Just trickles out of the zone. Now a battle. Gainey on the boards. No support for him, but he's playing two men. And now grabbed by Bankoff, who'll circle behind his net and lifts it all the way deep in the zone. Great hustle by Gainey there. Tamaccio giving chase on the forecheck on Cooper Love. Forces Love to pass it up to Malecki. Can't handle it and can only dump it in with 24 seconds left. And Conard will get it out of the zone again. Great play by Bankoff to loop that around. That'll take some ticks off the clock. Cooper Love goes to Malecki. Malecki to Stefanovic. Pushes McGoldrick out of the way. Goes right onto McKeith's stick, and he sends it in deep. And Conard's going to kill that penalty. We're even strength with almost a minute left to play. 1 minute left to play in the period. Settled down by Alonso. Alonso over to Roach. Sends it behind the goal line. Conard now trying to keep it at their end and play keep away from Enfield. Dylan Smith has it at the red line, and he'll just dump it in. By Malecki, gives chase. And he shoots it up the sideboards. Conard trying to keep it at the blue line. Alonso couldn't quite keep it at the blue line. So he was looking for assistance there. He loses his stick. Now grabbed by Dubois. He tried to pass it over to Parker Bastos as he's hit. And Cooper Love now pushing it through with 22 seconds left. Forced to the outside by Alver. Great job in defense by Liam Alver there. Enfield has it. 14 seconds left. Poked away by Dylan Smith. Grabbed by Bowden. Another fight. A loose puck right out in front. And Emery makes a save with 6.2 seconds left. And a little chaos in front of the net. Cody Sexton, Dylan Smith, jawing at each other and chirping at one another. Enfield never pulled their goalie. Never an empty net opportunity. 6.2 seconds left. Mangini takes the draw, goes over to Enfield, backhanded, and gets through the wickets. And it's a 4-3 game with 2.4 seconds left in the game. It got through Emery's 5-hole. Enfield definitely not stopping here and putting the pressure on. Brady Tavernier will take that draw. Someone will set up behind him, so they're going to look to take a shot right off the bat. And they do, and they force it out there, but it's poked up to Dylan Smith, who sends it deep in the zone. And despite the last little bit of rush by Enfield, Conard will head to the finals for the CCCs tomorrow. So Conard, 4-3, victorious. They'll play the winner of the Rocky Hill Hall High game, 5 o'clock in Simsbury tomorrow. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rob without Russ. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night.